London expected to play. Adams not expected to play. Vidal out, which means that Hampton's going to get a ton of work, but it's a tough matchup against the Houston Texans defense. Diggs playing for more than $500,000. He's playing for about $1.5 million, essentially, but in this particular game, Diggs is playing for $500,000 to $250,000. Rico Dowdle, if he gets 70, I think it's 70 plus total yards, he gets $1 million. There's a lot going on in terms of those numbers and what that means for a hire. And we'll talk about that on Underdog promo code Smitty, link in the description of the video. Play 5, get 75. Hit that link. A lot to go over. Joe Burrow, trade rumors, all kinds of stuff. The Fantasy Football Show kickoff show. 1 hour before kickoff, like I said, we'd be here doing it live. That show begins right now. File on in.
FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show.
Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So quite a bit of news to go over here, and then we'll answer whatever chats we have, and then we'll go potentially to phone lines. So right now, Drake London is being said to be likely to play. They're expecting him to play. The staff says they feel really good about him playing. So fire up London if you've got him. Just make sure you stay on top of the last-minute news on that particular game. For anybody that doesn't really know, they're kind of running around with the like a chicken with their head cut off. Today's games are the Houston Texans at the Chargers. That's at 2:30 p.m. my time. That's 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And then Baltimore at Green Bay at 6 p.m. my time. That is 8 p.m. Eastern. So know that those are the games that matter right now. Like London, Adams, those things don't affect until the following day. In Rams' case, Monday night, and London's case, Monday night, actually. So any other pieces of news we talk about, it won't necessarily be that grave of information now. We can address it tonight and tomorrow. But anything Houston Texan at Chargers, Baltimore Ravens at Green Bay, that has to get sorted out right now. And in the case of Jordan Love, for those that don't know, Jordan Love is out of this game. That means that you're going to have our boy Malik Willis starting. He's banged up too, but he's definitely on a stage right now to try and convince teams to come after him to become a starter in this league in 2026. So expect Malik Willis to maybe make some waves if he can. But Jordan Love out. Drake London in. Davante Adams out. Hampton full go because Vidal is inactive. That's this piece of news right here, and that's an impacting piece of information given that game is the next game. Joe Burrow rumors kind of kicking into high gear again, and let me remind everybody that there's a complexity to this situation that will not allow Joe Burrow to get traded easily. Joe Burrow has a dead cap that is massive, and it's not something a team can take on, not something a team wishes to take on. The Bengals have no interest, maybe under 0% negative interest in trading Joe Burrow at this moment in time. Joe Burrow can make things uncomfortable. According to this report, several teams expect to pursue Joe Burrow in the offseason. Bengals are not expected to trade him. Very accurate way of depicting it right now. But anything can happen if, let's say, Joe Burrow starts making a stink. If he doesn't want to stay there, he can't get traded unless he literally reworks his contract and takes away all of his guaranteed money. And it's not something you see. It's unprecedented for something like that to happen. But it's certainly possible, and Joe Burrow is the one guy I can envision saying, yeah, I don't care about the money. Take it away. I'll get it again once we go downstream. So it's definitely something we're going to monitor and do live streams on like crazy over the offseason. But for right now, just expect Joe Burrow rumors to kick into high gear consistently all offseason. And depending on how he does in his final contest or two, you might think differently if they're vibing out there, or if things fall apart and he looks depressed on the bench and he's not into the game. We might start hearing a lot of people kickstart some rumors, but keep in mind they all have to be accompanied by him reworking his contract in ways we've never seen before, taking away guaranteed years, restructuring that deal so that he can get out without hurting the Bengals in a trade. And then he goes to a new team and signs a new contract. That's kind of what Stephon Diggs did, and no one expected that to happen when Diggs said, "I'll take away guaranteed dollars." It was wild when Diggs signed that or made that trade and then narrowed his contract down to a 1-year deal. So that was crazy and interesting. Again, fire up Hampton if you've got him. Without Vidal, he's going to go absolutely bonkers in terms of volume, but it is the toughest matchup he could have asked for. Although the Texans just allowed a man by the name of Ashton Genty to go out and drop a massive. Is this? I don't know if this is the Genty. That is not. That's the Adams News. Adams doubtful. Where's my Ashton Genty stat line from the other day? Is this it? That's not it. That's the Rashi Rice on IR. A lot of disappointing news. Every time I grab a piece of news, it's something dreadful and disappointing. This season's been absolutely crazy and ludicrous. I don't know where my stat. I had it here somewhere. But 180 plus yards and 2 touchdowns is what Genty was able to develop and deploy against the amazing and unstoppable Houston Texans defense. So you got to wonder if Hampton will be leaned upon heavily in this contest, and will he have success, or will Stingley coming back be just another reason why we're not going to see a repeat performance out of the Houston Texan defense in terms of getting manhandled by a running back. And Genty is a tougher runner than Hampton. Hampton's more smooth. He's a smooth operator. He's efficient. He's quick. He's decisive. He knifes through a defense slowly but patiently. Genty is a bulldozer. So they're two different players, though, too, as well. So if there's a susceptibility to the Houston Texan defense that Ashton Genty was able to exploit, I don't know that we're just going to see a rinse and repeat with Hampton. However, the volume is attractive enough that there's not a lot of scenarios I could see going, oh, well, sit him because the matchup is tough. You almost have to just roll the dice and hope that he has some huge success, and the Texans defense has taken some sort of double step backward for a couple games, and we know they're a great defense still. But Hampton to the space station. I don't know if I'd say to the moon because it's such a tough matchup. But Diggs again is playing for big money, 5.5 receptions on the higher. Dowdle, if he gets, I believe it's 70 to 73 yards total yards, he gets $1 million. So Dowdle should have a big yardage game. Hunter Henry, I believe, gets like $250K per like 4 or 5 or something like that, per 4 or 5 receptions. It's like I want to say it's we got a bunch of different incentive-based players this week. Hunter Henry's getting massive incentives. Mac Hollins gets massive incentives. Drake May's going to be paying everybody on the field if Drake May's dishing out the football. But Diggs and Hunter Henry specifically get paid big bucks. Dowdle gets paid big bucks. Saquon Barkley, I believe if Saquon Barkley gets 140 yards, I believe, total yards, Saquon Barkley will get, I believe it's a massive amount of money. Let me see if Ziggy knows. Ziggy, do you know how much money is Mac Hollins out? Mac Hollins is out. Travis says Mac Hollins is out. Okay. So even better for
Hollins received $500,000 from
Ziggy off. Ziggy, how much money does Hunter Henry get in incentives this week for X number of catches? Can you even compute that? He doesn't even know. But Hunter Henry and Diggs should be in for big days. So that's great news. Great news. Let's see here. Danny with the super chat. Danny says start 2 Pitts, Woody, Taysom Hill, Burden, Manungai. Buka's a lock here in this situation. I would say Woody's probably your safe bet. Although I do like Taysom Hill a little bit. here, and I like Monangai, but it's hard to trust him. I'd say Woody and Buka probably are your safest plays. Thank you for the super chat, young man. And this one, Nico or Evans. Nico has a tough matchup. Yeah, I like both of them. I'm not sitting Nico, though. I like Evans. Evans is almost a must-start for me. That means that he's a damn good play. But Nico's definitely a must-start for me, so I'm not sitting Nico. Yeah, to be announced on Olave, probably should play. But, you know, we're beholden to the news on that, so hang tight. I don't know if we have. I'm trying to see if I have. I went through all the other pieces of news yesterday, but I'm trying to see if there's anything that I didn't mention yesterday that we need to know now for all of you guys filing on in here. I'll just read through as much as I can. But again, Vidal's out, which is great for Hampton. Davante Adams doubtful. Drake London expected to play, still questionable, but expected to play. Theo Johnson is out. Fred Warner could make it back for an NFC championship game if the Niners make it that far. John Morton, new offensive coordinator, could make a lot of sense, says in Detroit, says Ian Rappaport. Yeah, that goes without saying. Mostert, questionable to play. Davante Adams already did that. Ricky Parasol, ankle, knee is questionable to play. Kittle, very questionable to play. He did not practice this week and has reportedly told his head coach that he should have a better answer tomorrow regarding Week 17 availability. Max Crosby was told to get out of the facility, pack up, go home, and come back next year. He was pissed off. He does not want to play for number one overall pick. He doesn't want to play stupid games to win first overall prizes. So we have something to say about this game, this LV matchup against the Giants. This is something that, and I saw Travis and a few of you talking on Patreon about this, which it's a really good topic, and it's something we need to monitor. That it's like Genty had an amazing day last week. I mean, it was 184 or 188. I think it's 188 and 2 TDs against the best defense in football, Houston. And Genty exploded. And we're all expecting Genty to take the Giants and destroy them and just lambaste them in Week 17. And I'm not sitting Genty by any means. I'm not trying to suggest that. I'm just saying I wonder what's going to happen in this game. You know, and I saw it being talked about on the Patreon just a minute ago. But Genty is in for a huge game against the New York Giants, but will the Raiders even allow this? Because they need that number one pick bad. They need a quarterback bad. They sent Max Crosby home and said, rest your knee. He says, my knee's fine. And they said, rest your knee. Rest your knee, Max. We need this number one pick overall. So that just makes me wonder, are they going to go out there and pound the rock and shove it down the Giants' throat? I don't think they're going to. I don't know. Part of me thinks they'll try. Part of me thinks that Genty will say, I don't care. I'm going to run through and barrel over defenders, and they're just going to end up winning, and they're going to be like, damn it. Or are they going to do something about this? Are they going to try and game plan against Genty destroying the Giants? I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm certainly not sitting Genty. It's a great matchup, but this is these teams want to lose this game. And so you just have to keep it in consideration when you have alternatives. I'm not saying alternatives like waiver wire fodder. I'm just merely saying that this might not be the game we think it's going to be. It might be. Genty might take things into his own hands and the Raiders go, damn it. Genty's going to have 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, isn't he? That's certainly possible. Certainly possible that Genty takes things into his own hands, but what if they rotate them? What if they don't play call properly? I don't know what in the hell I'm looking at. When you said Max Crosby home, when Max is saying, I'm not hurt. And they're like, yeah, you are. You're going home, Max. We're losing this game, is what they're trying to tell Max Crosby. We're losing this game. We have to lose this game. You know, so you just wonder. Bowers is out for the season. Max Crosby's gone. I'm surprised Genty didn't stub his toe last night getting out of bed. I'm surprised they're not finding a way to put Genty on the pine. Maybe they do mid-game. Oh, Genty stubbed his toe on the Gatorade cooler. He's got to sit the second half. I just don't know. All I'm saying is be careful because we're watching them dismantle this roster right now in terms of what they're deploying the next couple weeks. So kind of tough to say. And then the Giants they got an active list this long. So the Giants are trying to lose this game. Are they just going to go out there and just punt on first down? Yeah, we don't like the look of this. We're just going to go ahead and punt it on first down. And they're just going to try and hand each other a touchdown. Here's a wide open rushing lane, and then the running back falls. Like, what are we doing here? Are we not playing football anymore? Why isn't there a penalty for this? I mean, we don't know what team is going to prevail. We just got to hope Genty stays on the field. That's all we got to hope. All right, let me answer these two questions here. Might open the phone lines in a second. Don't know anything on Hendy fully yet. Do you see the Steelers sitting a lot of starters if Baltimore loses? I could see it. I don't know what the Rams are going to do either. We kind of are beholden to later information before we have some of the details on this, and you almost have to plan preemptively, and you could end up scoring yourself either way. And so I think people that have really close calls could lean on the side of caution. But, to sit a player when your alternatives are not very good, you kind of got to roll the dice with the questionable, do these teams sit their guys early situations. But, we've seen players get sat for almost an entire 2 quarters and still throw, like a quarterback throw 3 or 4 touchdowns in a first half. So it's hard to sit anybody unless we have a clear indication that they're completely going to be sat, or they're going to sit really early in the game. And we don't have a lot of those scenarios. We just have a lot of, well, if this happens and lightning strikes here, maybe this team might not play this player. So right now we're just kind of waiting. But I think it could happen. It could happen. The Steelers might not want to risk, they've got a team that's full of you could say in some cases injuries and older players and a mixed bag. But like Aaron Rodgers, they don't want to injure. They already have DK Metcalf out. Should I start Waddle or Tracy in my flex for my championship? My concerns for Tracy are spilling over from what I just said. I don't really know what they're going to do in this game. I don't know what the Giants are going to do. I don't know what the Raiders are going to do. I do think that Tracy could potentially have a good game. Let me pull up something on Tracy real quickly. This is just a disaster. And you guys remember what I said 2 years ago when they were deciding to extend the season a game? I said we could run into a problem where we all think we're sneaky by just moving the playoffs slightly and everything will be okay. I think it's one of those things where some years we're gonna have, because you're extending the season one game. The longer the season is, the more irrelevant the final week or two could be. The more likely you could now have 2 irrelevant weeks for some teams that are, depending on how spaced out divisions are and how far in front some teams are. If it was a 12-game season, you'd have so much parity and close, battles. You'd rarely have teams sitting even the last week of football. The further we get toward 20 games, the more likely we're going to have 2 irrelevant weeks sometimes for some teams, multiple teams. And we're kind of seeing that right now. We extended the season to 18 games instead of 17. And I knew that we would eventually, and this year it seems to be the case, run into, and next year might be even worse. And if there's not a lot of parity, then it gets even worse. But we're going to have teams literally having 2 games where they don't really matter as much. And then depending on what happens in the game prior on that same week, it could affect a decision you've already committed to, and then all of a sudden they start sitting players, like in the Steelers example. So, the longer the season is, the worse we're going to run into this. If we go another game or two down the line, if Goodell wants to extend the season, we're literally going to have to consider making week 18, let's say it goes 19 weeks, week 19 and 18 irrelevant and still play the same number of games. It's going to be a conversation, I can promise you, in fantasy that won't be effective or won't be had until after people see the ramifications and want to go like, well, how do we outthink this? Tracy has been pretty solid back-to-back games. 15 carries, 16 carries, 70 yards, 71 yards. They definitely like to throw them a little bit. I think I probably lean toward Tracy. I think Waddle, I don't know what's in store for Waddle. I don't know how much Ewers and him are going to connect. He did have 72 yards and 9 targets, but only pulled in 5 receptions. The matchup against Tampa Bay seems attractive. I would probably say that Waddle is a higher risk, higher reward player, and Tracy's your steady Eddie without the same ceiling value that Waddle could have. I'm starting May CMC. Flex for my championship. Yeah, I would say Waddle's safest, but I don't know. If anybody's feeling a vibe like the Giants are just not going to try at all, then maybe Waddle becomes safer. Chat, can we vote Waddle or Tracy for the flex spot? Can I get at least 10 votes on that one? So do I play Genty or Hendy Stevenson? You're probably smarter going Hendy Stevenson, but at the same time, I mean, it's hard to say, man. It really is. I wish I had a good answer for you. I don't. Hendy Stevenson is probably just safer. I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying Genty can't have 150 and 2 touchdowns. And again, it might be that the Raiders dial everything back but Genty, and then Genty ends up making the Raiders go, God, we tried to lose this game, and Genty, we couldn't stop him. Like, he just kept bulldozing over defenders and proving himself. But I could also see misusage. So it's a tough call. It really is. Chat, we got Tracy, Waddle, Tracy. Waddle's been bad. I'm going Tracy personally, but the chat seems to be torn. It's about dead even. Guys, can I get a vote on this one? Would you go Genty or go Hendy Stevenson and wait for that Hendy Stevenson situation? You know, you're safe with that one. Genty looks amazing, but how this game is just set up weirdly. So, yeah, vote in the chat on that one. Vote in the chat. Genty or Hendy Stevenson. We got one vote for Stevenson. Genty to run the clock. Genty, Stevenson if Hendy's out. Well, that's the thing. You get overcome. You got to choose right now, Hendy or Stevenson, the combo, or Genty. You got to make a decision. Genty will clearly get goal line touches. Stevenson. I think I go Hendy Ramondre, but it's not an easy call, Mike. It really isn't. $20 hauler from Outdoors dropping the wad. Appreciate you, pal. Appreciate
Alert.
you.
Super chat alert.
Oh boy. Woody Marks or London. I'm going London since he's playing. I'm going London. But you're not crazy, wavering on that one. No doubt about it. Maybe we change the championship to week 16, have to adjust. Really bad for fantasy. I mean, this is what I said 2 years ago. I said everybody's moving the championship to week 17, but are they prematurely doing? I have a whole video on it where I say nobody's talking about this. That we might end up opening the door to two meaningless weeks instead of one by extending the season, and that everybody's going to want to retroactively go back. But the only problem with BBQ is the week 14 buys. So week 14, 15, 16, you can't do that. It's almost worse to have the bye weeks in week 14 because this is what I thought of when it first happened, and then when we learned that they're going to have Week 14 buys, you can't do Week 14 as the first week of the playoffs. So I guess the concern would be is if the league does eventually extend from 18 games to 19 games, if they bring the bye weeks into Week 15, then we have the same problem, and then we can't do what I'm suggesting. So maybe we change the so we'll come up with solutions and try and. But the problem is we can't really do something like as a community against the trend of everybody else, because that's just, you don't want to be up against, stuff that we want to be consensus in the industry, because then everything can stay conducive to that, instead of imagine me creating content that doesn't match up with what people are flooding in from just finding us, and they're like, I don't play in a league like this. This doesn't help me. So I can't really do that either. So the Raiders and Giants take a knee on every down and punt, or a tush push for 4 quarters. Still better than a lot of Thursday night football games. That's right, BBQ. BBQ is right. So do I play Genty or Hendy Stevenson? I'm going to play, just like the other question, I'm going to play the Hendy Stevenson combo. Roll with Dicker. I think you always roll with Dicker the kicker, bro. McPherson's not bad, but Dicker the kicker. Chad, agree? No? McPherson? Should I start Waddle or Tracy in my flex? I think I just did this one. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you for the super chat. And then this one right here from Mel. Mel, appreciate you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. 6 point per TD. Need to Davante Smith, Igbuka, Carter, Watson, Sampson. I'm going to go Igbuka, and Carter's a nice safe play. Sampson could be a safe play. Davante Smith a little higher risk, higher reward. I'd probably go Sampson and Buka or Carter and Buka, but Buka's locked in for me. Now Watson's not bad either, actually, but yeah, Wilson, Willis and Watson. Guys, do we like Christian Watson and Buka, or Christian or Buka and Carter, or Buka and Sampson? Pick one combo. I'm locking Buka in, so everybody choose one. Carter, Watson, Sampson. Pick one. Carter could be the safest, but I don't know. I think I'd probably go Watson. I think I'd go Watson, final answer. Carter is safe, though. You want safety. Smitty, it's game time. Pick 2. Brian Thomas Jr., Buka, or Michael Carter, Loveland, Myers, Wandell. I would normally take Wandell here, I think, but I just don't know what they're going to do. I'm just worried about this game. I go Buka and probably Carter for safety. Buka and BTJ if you want a little bit of spice in your life. And then Rams, Wanda. So which defense? Rams, Atlanta, or Saints versus Tennessee? I think I'd go Rams. Thank you, appreciate you. Those are crapshoots. That's definitely a tough call. So please trust your gut with those decisions, because I'm literally forcing an answer. Yeah, Watson for me, but Carter is safer. Start one tight end: Pitts, Taysom Hill, Juwan. Need a win. I'd probably say Pitts is your safe play. And John, John, you're having a conversation by yourself in the chat. You've been doing it since the beginning. Like, we're literally talking week 17. John's having a one-way conversation with himself about all the rookies and trying to will Dynasty on this channel. And I think, John, you got blocked, from the Dynasty channel because you started getting negative right now. So you're trying to, and we do talk Dynasty here, where you're trying to will Dynasty content in the middle of some week 17 start-sit questions. And I'm just baffled by John sometimes, just absolutely baffled. And the fact that he doesn't realize any of it is weird or awkward, or that he's negative sometimes, and he just thinks he's doing absolutely nothing wrong at any moment, is even more baffling. He's a very curious case. He's literally having a Dynasty conversation with himself. Anybody like this guy? Anybody like that guy? Anybody watch this college game? We're in the middle of voting. 10 votes. I need 10 votes. So we taking Taysom Hill or Pitts. And John's like, and this, what about this rookie QB? Sometimes I just can't. Pitts is safer. Taysom Hill, much higher risk, but kind of a fun risk to take. If Kittle's out, play Tunjas or Jawan Johnson. I go Tunjas. I roll with San Francisco because they're playing fantastic ball right now. Taysom Hill or Colston Loveland. Taysom Hill for me, but very, very close. Saints or Pats D. I'd probably go Pats D, I think. John, you weren't being negative. I just want you to know. I'm not like, you're not at risk of me like kicking you out or something based on your third person conversation with yourself. I'm just baffled by it is all. At least you're not being negative. I will say John hasn't been negative in a while because I think he realizes this is the last channel he's got access to. He's off the Dynasty channel. But he hasn't been negative. He's been really, really careful as to what he says. And this talking to himself thing is maybe one of his coping mechanisms. So in that, let's give John a round of applause for literally doing his very best not to be negative for weeks so he doesn't want to lose the channel.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
That might be John's first standing ovation ever on this channel. That might be John's first ever standing O. He's probably typing something negative right now, about to lose access to everything. He doesn't realize he's about to get a standing ovation because he's watching 10 seconds behind. Ladd or Godwin? Probably Ladd. But I don't know. Godwin's. Does anybody want Godwin over Ladd? I don't know that I do. Ladd or Godwin. Vote. Please vote Ladd or Godwin. John's probably baffled himself right now because he's got a standing. He's like, how did I get a standing ovation? Just because he's been, I don't know, so negative over the years. Like, not being negative seems like a blessing. Hurts or Purdy? Probably Purdy for safety, Hurts for higher risk, high reward. The matchup, Buffalo, the weather. But I find it hard to sit Hurts though. But if you need safety because of the way the matchup's set up, then go Purdy. Buka or Smith, Davante Smith, going Buka. I think Buka is a bounce back day. Start one: Woody, Marks, Dobbs, Kyle Williams with Booty and Hollins out, and DeMario questionable. Yeah, I mean, it does make for a good play. Kyle Williams scored a touchdown last week. He's been kind of coming on strong. We like him a lot. We loved him in the offseason. I think Woody's safer. Kyle Williams is higher risk, higher reward. Plain and simple. That's just the bottom line. I mean, Wild Bill, I wish there was a good answer. Chat, vote safe Woody Marks or go high risk Kyle Williams. Kind of think Kyle Williams. If I had to pick, I'd maybe say Kyle Williams, but it's close. If Kittle is out, pick up Tunjas or roll with Strange. I think I'd rather have Strange in that situation, but obviously he's a good pickup if anybody needs him. Smitty, you got me this far into the finals. MHJ, Tucker, Burden. I'm probably going. I mean, if MHJ is unhampered, I go MHJ, and I probably go. If Kittle is out, I probably roll San Francisco, getting that football delivered to Tunjas, bro. I think he's a pretty decent pickup and play. Seattle defense, running back Kyron, Hendy, Stevenson. Seattle, Pittsburgh. I'd probably go Seattle. And then if I'm picking one running back, I think I'm going Hendy, Stevenson. Kyron's hard to sit though, but I think I roll Hendy, Stevenson. Very, very tough. Because, I mean, Kyron, I just don't know what the Rams are going to do. One flex, Ladd, Burden, Downs, Tunjas, Charbs. Probably go Charbonnet. I'll ask it again. Saints or Houston or Pats D. Pats D for me, doomsday. But I do like the Saints. They're a sneaky play. John says, thanks for the standing ovation.
You've just been Smitty approved.
John was very tempted to defend himself. John, I know this is you probably because it took him a while to respond. He's the most recent message. It just came in. John took literally like 5 minutes to compile this message because he was typing in some defense like, I'm not... And then he said, delete, 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 delete. Thanks for the standing ovation. John, that was the play.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
John, this is like when you do what everyone thinks you're not going to do. You do the opposite. This is George Costanza. You do the exact opposite of what you think you should do. And John, it's working out beautifully. You've got 2 standing ovations in one show after trying to derail the whole conversation, talking rookies, when no one was even talking rookies with you. You went in that direction and somehow got 2 standing ovations because you George Costanza the situation. You did the complete opposite of what you're supposed to do, or what you thought you were supposed to do, which ended up being the correct answer. Bucky or Hendy? Probably Bucky if you don't have a backup plan. And don't get too cute either, John. This is buying you a little time. Because we know you're not going to be able to hold back. 2-3 weeks from now, something's going to pop out of your mouth. You're going to say, Smitty! Really digging Kyle Williams this week, says Gilberto. Pick one, Josh Johns, Woody Mark, Sampson, Trey Tucker, championship, says Gamer. Probably go... I want to go Sampson, but I just don't know yet. So Marks for now, but I like Sampson a lot. Mel says, Smitty, I'm not trying to spam you. It just, the above super chat wasn't answered all the way. I'm going to have to leave in a few minutes. All right, Mel, hold on. Mel. Where's Mel? Okay, to Ibuka Watson. Okay, defense. I'm going to go. I don't know what E is. Defense, E, New Orleans, or Cleveland. I don't know what the Eagles? What's E? I've never heard anybody. Mel, what is E? Do I start E? I don't think I've ever been asked that. I've been doing this, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of shows. No one's ever asked me, do I start E? I don't know if that's the Eagles, bro. If it's the Eagles, I probably go Eagles and just hope for opportunistic play. But New Orleans is a nice play. It is a crafty play. London, DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, or Wilson. I'd probably go Wilson. I don't know if you guys agree. Can I get a chat on London or Wilson? I just don't know if I trust London. Is it New England? Travis is thinking New England. Travis is probably right. I don't think it's Eagles. I don't think you just say E. New England. Travis is right. New England. Let's go New England by a hair. But if you want to get crafty, bro, New Orleans is a pretty fun play. I go Wilson. Can we get a vote Wilson or London? Please. DJ Moore ain't bad, though. You got a lot of good options here. London. Wilson. I'm going Wilson personally. Wilson. I mean, you got an injury. You got the Falcons. You got Kirk Cousins. I mean, a lot of reasons. And you got Brissett, who of course, is going to get back to balling now that I don't need him to get into the finals of the Best Ball Mania. Jeez, man. Hampton has the backfield all to himself. He does, but he has a tough matchup, so he's a fun play. It looks like Wilson's going to get the vote. Wilson's going to get the nod. New England, probably. Thank you, Mel. Appreciate your super chat. We've got a few minutes here left before kickoff. Full PPR, need a flex. Hampton or Juwan Jennings. Thanks. Jennings might be safer, but I'd probably go Hampton personally. The volume's going to be there with Vidal out, so... But I like Juwan. Juwan's not bad. Chat, would anybody go safety with Juwan? Or do we go Hampton? I'm going to go Hampton. But vote. Hampton, Juwan, please vote. At least 10 votes on that one. Gamer, I already answered your question. Hampton or Hendy for the flex. I'm going Hendy if I have an alternative, though. But if you don't, it's kind of tough to play Hendy. He is from the guy. He is that guy from the East versus West Bowl. No, E is from Entourage. Should I sit Jacobs? It depends on your option, bro. London is going to play, but is looking sketchy. He's always sketchy. Like right now, he is. Not when things are great, but like this is a sketchy time for London. A sketchy time for the Falcons. A sketchy time for a lot of plays. I do like these hires on Underdog. Promo code Smitty. Let me drop that link in the live chat if anybody wants to tail these. I'm telling you, there's a lot of good incentive-based hires that you can look at. And Dowdle getting 70 to 73 total yards, all-purpose yards, gets him $1 million. Diggs getting, I believe it's 5 to 6 receptions, I think it is, and he gets the $500,000. Then he gets the roster bonus. Then he gets, if he gets like a total of 100 and I think it's 130, 140 yards across the 2 games left, he gets another $500,000. If he gets every 10 receptions, he gets another $500K. So if he's got 4 to 6 receptions left, then another 10 after that, and he gets another $500,000. Real quickly, phone line open for 2 or 3 calls, and that's it. So hit this link. I'm going to pin it in the live chat. Underdog promo code Smitty. Love the 2 hires here. They're fantastic plays. Among Hunter Henry's as well. Hunter Henry should, I believe it's, I forget how many receptions he needs. Caller, hang tight real quick. Just mute yourself. I'll be right with you. Travis, you are live. I think we don't have the phone lines. Hold on a second. Hold on, Travis. Let me get my speaker backup plan working. All right, Travis. Travis, you're live. I can hear you now. Go ahead, Travis. Everybody else stay muted, please. Yeah.
I think it was Hunter Henry. I think needs 3 catches.
Was it 3? Yeah. And doesn't he need like a... Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, 3 catches for 250,000, and if he gets 8 catches, it's another
250. Yeah, that's good. So Hunter Henry's a real good play this week based on that. Drake May knows all this. They know this.
Yeah. And Booty and Hollins are out, and Pop Douglas. is kind of bad up too. Diggs and received quite a few targets.
Eric says, why are you down on Hendy this week? Why am I down on Hendy? That's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, Eric. Take a lap.
Take a big lap. We don't need. Your Bijan card has been revoked. Get lammed.
Your Bijan card's
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Can you imagine coming into my live stream and telling me why you down on Hendy? Are you watching the wrong channel, Eric? All right, go ahead, Travis. I'm sorry.
Maybe does he not know him?
I don't know what he knows. I don't know what he knows. I don't know what he. I'm not sure he knows. Go ahead.
So, a couple quick questions. Would you play Taysom Hill or Schultz?
I go Taysom Hill. Schultz is a steady play, but I go Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way. Then one other question someone had was the flex. How do Diggs or Carter? What way do you lean?
Dowdle, Diggs, Carter. Dowdle, Diggs. So you got two incentive boys and Carter. Carter I like, but he's a safe play. Eric says you keep saying sit Hendy. I don't say sit Hendy. I say if you have a backup plan. You can't start Hendy with no backup plan, and then it goes awry and you can't plug him in. So depending on your options. But right now you plug in Bucky. You wait on the Hendy news. Bro, are you watching the news? Do you even know what's going on? I mean, if a hurricane were headed toward your house, you don't have the news on. How would you know? Carter, I'm gonna take Carter out, and I'm gonna say, Diggs is probably safer. Dowdle is gonna probably get that 70 yards because it's a mill, man. I don't see how they don't want to give him fed. But they're both great plays. If I could play both, I'd play both these guys. But if I had to pick one, I think I'm going Diggs because he's coming off a huge game. Everybody's down. Like it isn't like where he can get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Like if all the receivers were healthy, I could see Diggs, somehow getting lost in the shuffle, and then he doesn't do anything the game you rely upon him. But now with everybody out, or Hollins and
right
and Booty and Mac or Hollins, what did I say? I don't know. I'm reading Eric's damn message. Okay, Diggs for me, but very close. I love Rico. If anybody's got Rico, put him in. It's a good play. All right, hold on a second. Travis will be right back with you. Rock out, you're live, and then I'll go over to the 240 caller. But rock out, you're live. Rock out.
Would you play for Burden or QJ?
Burden, Parker, P. Wash, or QJ?
QJ only had like 4 targets, but he got a touchdown. He made his day.
Yeah, I'd probably go P. Wash, but I don't know. It's like the matchup's great. I think Travis, what do you think? P. Wash
off of Keenan Allen, he got a 10.
Yeah, Keenan Allen gets what does he get? It's like
26 yards, I think.
Yeah. Problem is like that might just feed him, and they might like get him a cup to get him that, and he doesn't do anything. But QJ
26 yards, 7 catches, and 151 total yards. I saw that one.
I don't mind Keenan Allen in a desperation play, but QJ is gonna be hit and miss. You're gonna be so mad if he doesn't deliver. But I would say P. Wash based on what I think he means to the team. I don't know. Hard to say. I don't think you could go wrong there. Chat vote QJ, Quentin Johnston,
or
body catcher, Burden, or P Wash. All right, last one. All right, Rock Out. Games are starting, so I got to rotate quickly. So last one.
Game is until 4:30.
Oh, that's right. I'm still gonna do probably a hard stop, but go ahead, Rock Out, real quickly.
Man.
no.
Okay, Rock Out. Appreciate you, bro. Later. Let me just. Oh man, let me see if the Rumblers. Oh God, Landman. I'm sorry, bro. Landman's on the line right now. Landman dropped a I've been so good about going back to Rumble, and then today I dropped the ball again. I'm sorry, Landman.
Ready to stepchildren, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but sometimes sometimes those children are the most loyal, so I appreciate you. Landman dropped a super chat over on Rumble and said, Landman here, did Hendy clear an independent neurologist? If so, Hendy or Hampton? We're still waiting on Hendy news. We don't have that yet. I would rather go Hendy, but you don't have the luxury of waiting.
Got a backup. I got T-Mac and I got DJ Moore as a backup.
Okay. I would rather wait on Hendy, I think, than roll Hampton out in this very, very tough matchup. I like Hampton, but... And hold on, Landman. Damn it. I'm sorry, Landman. I apologize. I promise I will... And I have been true to my promise lately. It's just today I dropped the ball. I'm sorry. I will be cognizant of the Rumble rants. $20 from Landman. Landman, you get a $20 hauler here. Let me hit that button.
Alert.
Sorry.
Super.
And Landman said here, had Gibbs chasing points, Hendy or Hampton, so we just answered that, and start to Burrow, Stafford, or May is Fannin startable. I feel pretty good about Fannin. Travis, what's your sense on Fannin?
I mean, it sounds like he's going to play. We haven't heard any updates. It just sounds like he tweaked something at practice.
Yeah, like
Unless we hear something, I think he's startable.
Yeah, what's your option, though?
Yeah.
If it was like Taysom Hill, I might take a gamble on Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I can pick him up. I got a couple options here because, we only got 4 people left. A lot of people still the waivers. The other ones shut out. Make a championship and championship finals.
It does concern me playing an injured player. You know what I mean? In championship week, but
done.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that worries me a little bit. But
yeah, I'm chasing points because of Gibbs and everything like that. But he's it is what it is. So I'm just trying to get as many points as possible. But anyway, and then so who do you like with? I'm concerned they sit Stafford because there's might be nothing to play for on Monday night. So I'm thinking we start May and Burrow.
I agree with you.
All right.
I agree.
All right, brother. Listen, make it a New Year's resolution, man. No worries.
Make it
we love you.
What my 2 New Year's resolutions are to get fit and to answer the Rumble rants faster. Those are my
Merry Christmas.
I'm gonna write them.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
All right, thank you, Landman. I promise I will stay on top of it. Thank you for the $20 super chat. And we didn't see you for like a week or two. I thought you bailed or something.
No, I told you I was in IR, man. I had that umbilical surgery and everything like that. So I was out, and then I traveled up to the D.C. area where I'm originally from, and I'm back in Florida. I drove back last night with my wife and everything. So, we're back. We're back.
That's a good thing. Good thing Ron Davey isn't on the phone right now. If he heard you're from Florida, he'd be like, "Hold on a second. I'm going to talk to Landman for about 15 minutes here on the phone line." All right.
All right, you take it easy.
Later, Landman. Thank you, bro. God, I'm so sorry about putting him on. Do I have any other super chats over there? It's 2 from Landman. He had a $1 hauler and a $20 hauler, and I made him wait that entire time. Thank you for dropping that. Let's see here. Landman and Travis are neighbors too. Ish, right? Are you close? Oh no, you're not close to where do you say it was? In Florida?
Didn't he say he's in Florida?
Yeah. You're not in Florida. You're in PA. Ron's from Florida. You're in PA.
Oh, Massachusetts.
I'm sorry, Massachusetts. I'm sorry. Massachusetts. You're in Massachusetts. You're in Cape Cod.
Yeah, Ron's from PA, but
That's right. I don't know. I'm losing my mind today. Yeah, you're in Cape Cod. Cape Cod. Now, this might be a dumb question, but what's Cape Cod? What's the lay of the land there? Is that all? Is that like are you?
Well, it's like a peninsula. I mean, it's an island, but there's a bridge and it's beaches everywhere.
And is it a lot of like sail or a lot of I picture it like perfect storm. Like I gotta like see a lot of seamen and pause.
It used to be like that. Now it's more like a tourist area. Like in the summertime, the population quadruples.
Pause. Seafood. So you don't have like the where the main professions like you go out and catch swordfish. That's what I would envision Cape Cod being.
Not so much anymore. It used to be. Now that's up like a little past Boston and stuff like Gloucester. That's where the perfect.
Yeah. Is Gloucester's near it? So that's near Cape Cod.
About an hour from.
Okay, I like that show. Perfect Storm, our movie. That was a really good movie.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know why I was thinking you were close to Florida. I don't know why. I'm an idiot.
Went to school in Florida.
Maybe that was it. All right, hold on. Let me merge this call real quickly. 941, you're live as quickly as you can, and then I got to go over to the other. No, that's it. 941, go ahead as quickly as you can.
Oh, it's Doomsday. Quick question for you. I was asking in the soup chats earlier about the Saints D and the Texans D. Are you not really too sold on the Texans D going against the Chargers in a few minutes, or what? Like, what can you reiterate on that a little bit?
Well, I mean, we just saw Genty tear him up, so there's a little pause, but they got Stingley back, so they're probably going to be pretty damn good again, which is why I'm hesitant on playing anyone against Houston today, or this week.
The pass defense, I have a really strange league going on where they want to play 2 weeks all the way to week 18 for some stupid reason. So it's the most points out of 2 weeks straight this league's going, and I'm in the championship, so I'm playing this week and next week. If you had to drop a defense, would you drop it to be able to pick up the pass fee, right? I have the Saints and Houston. Passer on waivers right now. Would you drop the Saints or Houston to be able to pick up Pats right now?
Who do the Saints play next week?
Let's look. Saints play. And Houston has next week. Indiana.
And yeah. And the Patriots play who next? They're
Miami.
I think I'd probably just keep the 2 best defenses, so I'd probably let the Saints go. Because, I mean, you have 2 good options. New England and Houston, don't get too cute with matchups.
So I also have the Saints and Houston in my other league, but specifically for this week, you would play the Saints over Houston and then play the Pats, drop the Saints D, and pick up the Pats in the other league.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Doomsday.
I'll do that. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Good luck to you. You sound a little more optimistic than I was thinking, though. When you called in, I was thinking it was.
What?
Hi. I was picturing you to call in and go, "Hi, this is Doomsday." You see, you're just a little more upbeat than I expected.
Well, I'm just trying to get my ducks in a row here. We got a few minutes before this game kicks off, and I had Houston in my lineup this whole time. So
Doomsday Zach is famous on our Patreon for being very he renamed himself Doomsday because we kept saying you're Doomsday, bro. Everything's negative. Like Kyron does it. Kyron goes off the field. Doomsday Zach's like, Corn took over his job. Kyron got traded. And they were like, Doomsday, calm down. And he calls in. He's very upbeat.
He's optimistic before the game.
Yeah,
first quarter, everything blows up.
I know. Imagine him calling in the middle of the game. Like, this is Doomsday. All right, Doomsday.
No, it's not like that. But and then one more real quick. So, if Hindi isn't playing, would you play Ramondre Stevenson over Swift?
I think so.
Play Ramondre?
I like Swift though, but I think so. I think this week, yes. This week, yes. I think Swift probably gets held in check to a degree.
Versus so?
Yep. I
Like,
think,
I look at it with Ramondre. If Hendy's out, all they have is Elijah Mitchell. I mean, they get signed to the practice squad.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of volume. Be a lot of volume.
You know, you can put on him for like 40 yards and a touchdown, something like that at the worst. Like, you know, I can't guarantee a touchdown, but he's gonna have a good shot against the Jets. So.
All right, Dubes,
they got. He's a 50-50 right now, or looking more like he's playing right now, Hendy.
So
he's got to pass.
B writer just announced Mac Hollins went on IR, so he's gone for 4 games. And Pop Douglas and Hendy are trending towards playing, but there's still questions.
He's got to pass all the tests essentially, so he's ready to go physically. Patriots don't elevate any running backs from the practice squad. That report just came in this very second, so that's probably trending toward Hendy playing. But Hendy still has to pass with the doc, the final test, and that has nothing to do with what the Patriots envision him. Like they don't perform that test. It's not like they can take his temperature and be like, you're still trending. I think you're gonna. They have to send him to the doc. The doc is gonna be like, yes, he's good to go. Right now, the team wants him, expects him, and is planning for him to play. He's fully ready to go, minus a doc signing off on it, which he could pass a test. Yeah, you haven't missed a super chat yet. I got to go through them right now. I got to go, Doomsday. Appreciate you. Travis, anything else?
So I think, we have to watch for is like our BBQ said, Steelers, if the Ravens end up losing, keep an eye on those lineups. And then, even Green Bay, I don't know if they have a lot to play for. So there's 50-50 calls. You might want to go another way. I'm not telling people necessarily to, but just keep an eye on standings over the course of these next couple, today, and see what happens.
For sure. We'll have more tonight on that. Cook up a little, I'd say, summary on that after this, and then when you call in tonight, maybe we'll go over that in the beginning.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Sure.
All right.
Later. Thanks, buddy.
Later. Thank you, Landman, for the super chat. All right, these last super chats here, I've got a grip of about 10 of them real quick to rip through. This one's a $20 hauler from TK. TK, appreciate you.
Alert. Super chat alert.
TK says, what's up, Smitty? 2QB Superflex. Barkley, Baker, Stafford, Barkley, Cook, Amon-Ra, Pickens, Schultz, Dowdle, Taysom or Schultz, Dowdle or Diggs. Okay. So thank you. Your team looks solid. Hopefully Stafford doesn't sit or anything. Sucks about the Lions, under delivering and Pickens. Jeez. Dowdle should be playing for big money. Hopefully Olave's good to go. Taysom or Schultz. I'm going to swing because you need a big swing at this point. I'm going to go Taysom, man. Schultz is steady, but I don't know that Schultz is scoring 30 points now. Watch him score 30 points. So I'll probably go with a big swing Taysom, bro. Chance of 2 touchdowns or something wild. And Diggs and Dowdle, geez, man. I guess I go Diggs as I was presented with this question earlier. And with all the receivers down in New England, he can't get kind of phased out or something or get lost in the shuffle. And they're both playing for millions. Dowdle needs 70 yards for $1 million, but that doesn't necessarily give him more than 7 points, right? If he gets 70 yards. Diggs is probably my call, but I love both of them. Congratulations. Thank you for the $20 hauler. And fantastic job with the team. And you couldn't have controlled that. St. Brown and Pickens, bed crapping, bro. Stevenson over Jacobs if Hendy is out. I think so, given that Jacobs has been injured and they don't have a lot to play for, like Travis said, and you have Wilson taking half of the work right now. So it does feel like Stevenson with Hendy out would be better. But Hendy looks like he's in as of right now. So I think you probably roll Jacobs. But if that changes, then yeah. But I don't. It seems like Hendy's about 70% chance likely of playing. Flex 1, Michael Wilson, Myers, Stevenson, Carter, Woody. Michael Wilson would be the call for me. Pretty easy question. Eric, no disrespect, Smitty. LOL, you got me to the championship final. I know Hendy is Quest. Just wanted to know if he's playing. Well, you have a funny way of showing it, saying, why don't you like Trey Henderson, Eric? But I forgive you. I'm not mad at you. I'm not holding a grudge. I don't care. I'm merely calling out what I see. I call it like I see it. And you say, why do you not like Hendy? And it was weird. It was like walking up to a parent and saying, why don't you like your child? Because you yelled at him, or you said, I don't know if my child is feeling under the weather today. They may or they may not have their best game or play this week because we're awaiting the doctor's orders. That's all. Start him over Bucky. If Hendy plays, I play Hendy. If Hendy doesn't play, I play Bucky. I mean, that's what I've said all week. I'm just merely telling people, if you don't have an option, and let's say you are sitting here and you're saying to yourself, I've got to make a decision and I'm getting on a plane and I don't know what to do. These games are at the same time, so you should have enough information to make that call in the morning. But if you had to make the call now for whatever reason, I'm saying put Bucky in case you slip and hit your head. You know, Bucky's the start right now. But as soon as you get the go-ahead, it's a pretty even-Steven call. I lean toward Hendy, but it's pretty close. Eric, thank you for the super chat. Just put Bucky in case something happens. You got to go. The dog swallows a squeaker toy, and you head to the ER, and you don't have a chance to change it out. Pick one: Hendy, Corum, Sampson. Hendy if he plays. Carter on waivers. I'd go Hendy or probably Corum. Corum's pretty safe, I suppose. Start 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 2 flex. Hampton, Hendy, Dowdle, Ted. I guess I go Ted. I go Hendy or Stevenson, so probably Hendy, right? And then my 2 flexes would be Dowdle and Hampton. Final answer. I like those options. I was thinking I was going to get restricted there. Smitty, I've been runner up for 10 out of 15 years in my league. It's a running joke, and the bad luck is still getting me. I need a QB, Huntley, Herbert, or Shuck. I would go probably Herbert, but only because, I mean, Shuck is a decent play, but there's still a lot of risk there. Chat, would you go Herbert Toth matchup against the Texans though? Or would you go Shuck? You know what? Maybe you go Shuck because you need a swing, but the only thing is, he's not a guarantee of any kind. Herbert's playing well, but he's going into a tough matchup for sure. I guess Shuck is a little less risky, but maybe at the same time not higher upside. Chat's voting Shuck. I go Shuck. Go Shuck. Maybe Dart. Dart's not bad either, but go Shuck because you don't know if the Giants are trying to lose this game. Lamar owner needed help. Go Shuck. That at least gives you a swing and maybe. And it's the complete opposite. If everything you do 15 out of 20 years is bad, let's do the opposite of what you should do. You should probably play Herbert, but we're not going to. We're going to pull a Costanza. We're going to pull a George Costanza. We're going to start shucking. You're going to win because you did the exact opposite of what you should have done. T-Law or Purdy, I'm going to go T-Law or Purdy. I'm going to go Purdy Law. I get Purdy's safer. T-Law's higher risk, higher reward. You got to pick your poison. I can't really decide that for you because it's a damn even-Steven call. I guess I would probably roll Purdy if it was me by a hair. Start 1 running back, 1 wide receiver. I did that one already. Smitty, I made it to the championship in every single year since becoming a part of the community. I owe you a Mexican Coca-Cola and a meatloaf. Thank you, Young. Appreciate you. This will help contribute to that, so thank you. Dart or Herbert? I go Herbert. Herbert is playing for something Dart is not. That's part of what I would think about, and I'd also say that the Giants are trying to lose. Stafford might sit, play Baker instead. Chat, that's a tough one. Do we go Baker or do we go Stafford with the risk of the Rams sitting players? I do think Baker has a day. I'll say that, Banto. Damn. This is where you're really putting the pressure on. Boy, I would probably say Stafford's your safer play. Even if he sat half a game, he still could have 2 or 3 touchdowns. I'm gonna say Stafford. Chad, are we going Stafford or Travis says get Stetson Bennett maybe? Corey says Gibbs is a bum. Corey, you don't have to be here if you don't want to. No one's forcing you to watch the channel. You know what I'm saying? Chat vote. What are we doing? Stafford or Baker? Baker, Stafford. I do think Baker's going to cook. I do. Corey, let us know if you want to be here or not. Your next message will determine whether you're here or not moving forward. So, Corey, go ahead and post your next message and let's read it. And then together we'll decide what to do with Corey. Corey, go ahead. We're waiting for you. If you post nothing, I'll just get rid of you. Banto with the 5 gifted memberships, everybody. Thank Banto for that.
You've just been...
Guys, can we vote on this? 10 votes. Baker or Stafford? Baker or Stafford with the threat of Stafford maybe sitting. No message from Corey yet. Corey, I'm waiting. All right. I'm going to give you a pass, Corey. All right, my bad. Nothing personal on you. Well, coming in and saying you all, like, basically telling everybody to you know, take this. Gibbs, you know, is horrible. What do you all think about your 5 points? Like, you kind of came in hot, Corey. Like, that didn't seem like an appropriate message. And it doesn't seem like you're nothing personal. It sounds like you came in here and started taking shots at not just me, but everybody in the chat saying, how do y'all like that? Your Gibbs is trash. Trash, I tell you. 5 points. What do you think of that? Like, Corey, how is that not personal? How is that? How are you defending that that's not personal? I mean, it's a good backtrack. What did everybody say here? Baker, Stafford for sure. I'm going to go Stafford, Banto, but there's certainly risk involved. You could do what Travis said, pick up the backup and just have it covered in case, you know. T-Law or drop a receiver you don't need. T-Law or Purdy. I'm going to go Purdy for safety. T-Law, higher risk, higher reward. Purdy's in a safe little bubble right now. Tight spot. Start one at Buka, Reed, or Dobbs. That's not a tight spot. I'm going Buka. Look, I understand what people are going to say, but I really don't care. Beach one. Hendy, if he plays, London, Evans. So if Hendy doesn't play, obviously you got your answer. I would probably say London because London's been banged up, bro. But it's a tough call. Sharps, Watson, Hill, Kincaid, pick one. Probably go Watson here. But Sharps is kind of safe. And then the Packers don't have much to play for, so there is a little bit of a risk. Schultz or Fannin. I think I'd go Fannin as long as things look really good. If Henderson clears protocol, start him over Mike Evans. I think maybe, but there's some risk to that too. Mike Evans should have a good day. But I probably would go Hendy personally. But I acknowledge there's a lot of risk there because Evans should be pretty steady. Rivers or Cousins for the flex? Probably. Damn, bro. I don't know. Rams could sit players and then the Falcons have a decent day. Like, it's hard to predict this. This is like asking me to. And the Jaguars, I guess I go Cousins in hopes that that happens, but I don't like your options, and your odds of getting it wrong are really high because it's volatile. And Pitts or Barner, I probably just lean on Cousins and Pitts and hope for the best. Much love. Thank you. Thank you, Great Beginnings. Appreciate you. Chat, would you agree on that? That's a tough call. Chargers or Saints D? Probably go Saints D this week. Guys, can you vote on that? Would you go Pitts and Cousins instead of Rivers and Barner? Can I get a vote on that one? Strange or Warren? I think I go Strange for safety. $20 hauler from Currency. Appreciate you.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Thank you. And Hassan, you keep getting put in timeout because you just keep spamming the chat. Bucky or Gainwell? I'm going Bucky personally. Running back 2 spot behind Bijan. Okay, love Bucky, but Gainwell has outperformed in 2 weeks. I trust your gut then. It sounds like you don't want to sit Gainwell, and I don't blame you. I like Gainwell a lot. With DK out, they could lean on him heavily, but they also could sit starters, bro. They could also sit some players. Like, we don't know. I'm going to go Bucky. They're playing for something. So Bucky for me. Guys, vote Bucky or Gainwell. I'm going Bucky. I'm not even hesitating. 15-point lead, championship. Third string, Ramondre. If Ramondre were playing, I could go Ramondre. But have Stafford starting. My backup is Kirk. I'm still going Stafford in that situation. I love your options. I'm going Bucky. Pittsburgh has some risk. Nico or Evans. I'm going to go. And we got to. This is the last 2 questions. Nico or Evans. I'm going to go Nico, but I want both of them in my lineup. And then Alice, appreciate your super chat. Stafford or T-Law. I think I go T-Law because of the threat of the Rams sitting players. My opponent has. I don't really care who your opponent has. Like it matters, but then again, it doesn't. You know. Like in some context, I suppose it could help, so it doesn't hurt to tell me. But at the end of the day, I'm not starting Stafford because he has Puka. You know, I'm gonna go with the option I think will outscore the most. You know, score the most points. I'm gonna go T-Law. Do I start Stafford to offset Puka? Also read 2 wide receivers. Also need 2 wide receivers: Watson, MHJ, Burden, QJ, Kyle Williams. I kind of like Kyle Williams this week. Guys, pick 2. Watson, MHJ, Kyle Williams, Burden, QJ. I'm going to go, do we go MHJ and Kyle Williams, or do we go Watson and MHJ? I think it comes down to that. Burden's a nice play. QJ's hit and miss, but could be a nice play. Vote if you could. Let's see, Burden, Smitty, I'm rolling Shuck. Yeah, definitely roll Shuck. That's not bad. Watson, MHJ, Williams for upside. I'm hopeful for MHJ, but part of me is like, do I want to risk it this week? I mean, if you put MHJ in there and he is banged up and doesn't even play much or something wild, you're never going to trust him again. I guess Watson, MHJ is your high risk, high reward play because of MHJ, and Watson, Kyle Williams might even be a tad bit safer. So you're going to have to pick your poison. I appreciate you, Alice. I'm sorry I don't have an exact answer for you. It's just sometimes it comes down to, do you need risk or do you need safety? And those are the options for you. Any word on, you could go Kyle Williams and MHJ too. That might also be pretty decent because Watson's been banged up. You know, but I do think that Willis could find him, and so I think he's still a good play. In any world, would anyone start Emmanuel Wilson? Jacobs is a go, right? Jacobs is a go. It depends on your options, bro. And then last super chat, and then we're out of here. Herbert or Willis? I'm probably going to go Herbert, but I do like Willis this week. But Herbert is playing for a lot. I'd probably go Herbs. Guys, on that note, hopefully we get a little handy action.
Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby.
Good luck to everybody.
Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby. Time he touches the football, baby.
Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live after the games.
Other shows they said do not draft him. Warren Williams said he was small. Your mama won't be making you meatloaf because you got
Thank you, Rumble.
no house call.
Landman. Landman, we'll see you later. Cake, we'll see you later on Rumble. My Rumblers, appreciate my Rumblers so much. I'm sorry about the delay. Landman to the moon. All right, see you guys all after the games. We'll be back. I'm live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. When there's games ending, I usually go live a little bit earlier than midnight, but that is that show. We're live at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. Live whenever big news breaks. Good luck to everybody.